The Volunteer is the 7th episode of the 5th season of Full House. This is directed by Joel Zwick, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. And it's a really powerful episode, very moving, obviously very funny in places, but also a little bit emotional. And there are two parts to the narrative, but I'll kind of just go through things a little chronologically, so apologies if I'm jumping around a little bit. It actually starts off with Becky having had a rough night with the babies, and Jesse says that actually he would want to know how it feels to be pregnant, not really thinking anything would come of it. And then Becky says, good, I'll arrange it. And we'll find out in a little bit what she does. We also have two other parts of the narrative, both of which tie together really nicely. Comet is learning to do tricks, and Kimmy says that Coco could do much better tricks, so they end up having a dog show in the yard, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. And the other narrative, and the one that's beautifully done, is that DJ is taking part in an adopted grandparent program, and the grandparent she's adopting is Eddie Johnson, played by Whitman Mayo, and that gets very emotional very quickly. So I'll talk about the grandparent scheme and the dog show in a moment. But first, Jesse. Becky manages to get him a prosthetic bump, or a sympathy pad, and he has to wear it for one whole day. And if he succeeds, he'll get to choose the wallpaper for the nursery. He wants Elvis paper. And if he doesn't, and he takes it off, Becky gets to choose the theme, and she wants circus animals, which probably more appropriate. And he spends the bulk of this episode wearing this bump, and I think it really helped to show that actually it's not easy, and it's a lot of extra weight, and ultimately he does end up taking it off in this brilliant scene where he thinks he's getting a massage from Danny, and it's actually Becky. And the reveal that it was Becky, I thought, was brilliantly done. So some really great messages there, and maybe some good ideas as well. If anybody wants to know what it feels like if their partner is in the same position as Becky, and they have quite a sizable baby bump at this point, then wearing a sympathy pad could maybe help to give them a little bit more sympathy. Not that Jesse was ever lacking in sympathy, but as he said, he wanted to know what it felt like for Becky, and she arranged it, and maybe he was regretting it, but I also think he probably was grateful that he could now relate to her a little bit more and understand how she was feeling. So not a bad part of the episode. Then we come to Eddie Johnson, and DJ goes to the retirement home, and it's a little bit awkward to begin with. She asks him what the Great Depression was like, and the conversation's just not flowing very well, and then things get a little bit better, a little bit more relaxed, and then DJ happens to mention the dog show, and Eddie thinks he'd like to go to this dog show. So he manages to trick his way out. I think it's very clear to us as a viewer, but not to DJ, that he wasn't meant to leave, at least without letting somebody know, but he actually did. He managed to sneak out without telling anybody, and almost as soon as we arrive back at the house with Eddie and DJ, he calls her Gloria. And this happens on a couple of occasions, and honestly, it was difficult. It's difficult to watch. Very well done, but very difficult. We'll come back to that in a moment. We then have the dog show, and DJ and Eddie are judging this dog show, and we have all of these neighbourhood dogs, and they're absolutely gorgeous, and Comet does his tricks, and Coco arrives, but the winner is actually Teddy's dog Sparky, who does his special walk. It is just the cutest thing ever. And Danny presents the prize, which is a pooper scooper. It looks like the most inconvenient pooper scooper ever, but definitely something I could see Danny giving as a prize. And just as they're finishing the dog show, the nurse from the home arrives looking for Eddie, and he scarpers. He's gone as soon as he sees her. And DJ manages to find him in her bedroom. And again, he refers to her as Gloria. He's talking about howdy doody. And DJ realizes that something is maybe wrong, but she doesn't quite know why. And I'm surprised, to be honest. Well, I don't know if I'm surprised. I would be surprised today if somebody of DJ's age didn't understand that he had some kind of dementia or Alzheimer's, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But I don't know, this aired at the beginning of the 90s. Is it surprising that DJ doesn't really recognise what's happening, or was it not that common knowledge? If anybody has any information on that, please feel free to let me know. But either way, I think to us as a viewer today, it's certainly very clear what might be happening. And Danny explains to DJ, as the nurse had told him, that he's actually showing early signs of Alzheimer's, which is not what anybody wants to hear. And DJ then actually asks him to stay for dinner, and the nurse said he can, and he said he would impose for lasagna, and it was a nice, happy way to end that part of the story. But I think they handled it very sensitively, and definitely with bits of comedy here and there to keep it as light as possible, but without ever glossing over anything. And I think they did a really great job with it. But it's definitely an emotional episode. It's certainly not an easy watch, but nevertheless, I still enjoyed it. The Volunteer is a really solid episode of Full House. Do I have any personal highlights? Sparky doing his special walk was certainly very, very cute. And just how they handled the story with Eddie, I thought that was very, very well done. And ultimately, The Volunteer is a really solid episode of Full House.